Yeah, that was a little bit of taste of last year.
Spring Creek did not disappoint. It was literally two HRC Honda riders going at it. It was who is the most reliable, which is Jett, versus who's the most durable, which is obviously Sexton, because he can take a licking and keep on kicking. I want to start off by noticing that Jett seems as if he's got a kink in the armor, because he looked back quite a bit, and he was surprised at how fast Sexton was. Here was the first time in Moto 1, right around 20 minutes in, he's going, wow, Sexton has caught me. And Jett ended up making some more mistakes once he was caught, which shows you that, hey, there was no extra 4 seconds a lap for him to get another gap going. Sexton literally smelt blood. Y'all might think that I've got some screws loose, which you're probably correct. However, look, this is 4 minutes later into the moto, and we've got Jett looking back yet again at Sexton after he's throwing down some laps to where he lets riders get close to him and then he accelerates past. This is a little bit more of a panic moment than back in Hangtown when Jett was looking back at Ferrandis and AP going, hey, I'm managing the distance. This is completely different. Yes, it's all about context, and the context is that Sexton has the speed to beat him, caught him, and is putting pressure on him, and Jett is making mistakes. Am I creating a storyline here or a narrative? Possibly, because these guys really don't like each other. You've got the rider that should fill the shoes of Tomac, which is Sexton, and he is leaving HRC Honda for KTM, and you've got Jett, who pretty much has HRC on lockdown with his brother Hunter. It's out with the old, in with the new. And what's crazy is because Sexton is 23, he's still a young kid that has a lot to prove in some champions. That's why I was talking about who is the most durable and who is the most reliable. If Sexton can just turn into being a little bit more reliable, that's a scary Sexton. Here's another example where, yeah, we're inferring. So in the comments below, let me know. But they don't even look at each other when they're in the mule. Sexton looks like, hey, guys, I want to get back to the pits and somewhere else. What do you mean? I have to take the mule. Okay, fine. These guys don't even look at each other. I mean, Jett's kind of looking at Sexton, but Sexton makes it apparent that he is not talking about how the moto went. Nothing. Again, inferring, would it be such a bad thing that there was a little bit more drama and a narrative that these guys didn't like each other? That creates a marketing paradise to where you can get more people into the sport, make more money, just everyone wins. So, may it be something, may it not be something. They should definitely make it into something. Back to Jett, showing that he is vulnerable, is coming back across some of the sand rollers. Watch the mistake he makes right here. As he pops deep into one of the holes and luckily is able to just keep a WFO and doesn't crash. But he falls in one, boom, makes a big mistake, doesn't look like much. But to me, that is telling me that he is pushing forward. He is going as fast as he possibly can at that point in time on the track. After the podium, he looked physically tired, where before he looks like, I could do a whole nother moto. Here's another example. He is hauling ass up this giant triple, and he gets cross-rutted. That bike gets kicked sideways. He ends up doing an inverted whip, which are sick as hell. However, it wasn't intentional. The bike was just floating underneath him, and that was just a minor mistake because he is doing everything he can to keep Sexton at bay. And granted, again, he is more reliable because when he makes mistakes, he doesn't go down. And when we watch Sexton over and over again, he went down through some weird mistakes. Here is him hitting his front wheel on a scrub jump. And if his rear end would have hit the ground just a half a second, millisecond, few thousandths of a second faster, he probably would have been able to save it, because right there, we can see that his rear wheel is not on the ground, so he can't use the acceleration of the forward momentum to get that ass end to go right back behind him and save it. So instead, it finally hits the ground down here when it's over with, and he ends up going down. And we have another instance of him pushing it hard here, and he comes in down one of the steepest downhills real fast, and the rear end gets kicked by a bump, and that's what throws him and makes that front wheel real light, and it washes. So in my opinion, what happened here is his body is a little bit off. He's going straight down when he should have been leaned over a little bit. And boom, that bike rebounds, and then the front wheel hops over a rut. And by the time he lands, he ends up going down. He's just pushing hard. Plain and simple. He is pushing hard, trying to force Jett into a mistake, which Jett was making mistakes, but it was much more reliable because he was still keeping it on two wheels. On the topic, we all want to be durable and reliable, and one of the ways to do that is getting your blood drawn every 6 months to make sure you're not overtraining, you're not putting excess fatigue and stress on your adrenal system, and you don't need a doctor's referral to use CompleteMedSolutions.com. It's a one-time fee to get your blood drawn. Every 6 months, you'll get a reduced fee, and you can get your results in about 2 weeks. Good doctors that will be able to read and assess your personalized situation and be able to give you recommendations as far as exercise and nutrition to keep you reliable and durable. Make sure you check it out at CompleteMedSolutions.com. And finally, in Moto 2, it's cool to see Sexton start using some experience and strategy to his advantage, where you've got the winner of Moto 1, he gets first gate pick, you got second gate pick. Where does Sexton line up? He doesn't line up just on the inside of him, but he makes sure there's a bike in between so that there's a little bit of distance there. So in case he doesn't get the jump on Jett, he won't get shut down immediately, because that's what Jett would do. Is usually you see these guys line up right next to their biggest competitor, especially if they're a little bit better at starting, because then once they get the front wheel on them, once they run out of that rut, they can move over and shut it down and have that rider slam on his brakes and lose quite a bit of time here. But that doesn't happen because they've got a rider in between them. And you can see Sexton gets the hole shot. He's on the inside, being smart. But then later, he throws it away because, again, he's just a durable SOB. And he needs to work on being a little bit more reliable, because he gets on the gas too early here. Maybe that inside leg ends up dragging him down a little bit because we don't have the best of view here. It looks like he just was overriding the bike, and it swung out from underneath him, and it just slowed him down enough to where the rest is history. And then Sexton later ended up making an even bigger mistake and crashing, and Jett goes 1-1. Hey, this is looking to add a little twist into the series, which I'm excited for, because I still think that Jett is going to have a perfect season, but you can't help but root for the underdog, which is crazy to think that Sexton is an underdog when he was bridesmaids last year and he's the current Supercross champion. I mean, you want to root for Jett because he's a rookie and he's doing something that no rookie's been able to do. However, you also want to root for Sexton because you want somebody to take him down, to dethrone his ass. So this is Johnny Hopper. Till next time, make sure you hit that subscribe and notification icon. Got a lot of good stuff going. The podcast is live noon Pacific time on Fridays. Ba-ra-da-da-da-da-da.